Ladies and gentlemen, you've waited all night for it. This is our main event of the evening.
They'll be talking about it weeks, months after, going, I've never felt strength like that. I've never felt conditioning like that. I've never been so dazed. I've never been, I couldn't figure this guy out. Every second he was like picking me apart. Just when I thought he was a wrestler, his stand-up got better. When his stand-up got better, he became a wrestler again. When he became a wrestler, he became a jits guy. You know, I just want to be a riddle to them. I want to be kind of a Da Vinci Code to them where they can't figure me out.
This man stands 5 foot 9 inches tall and yesterday weighed in at an even 142 pounds with an MMA record of 6 wins and 2 losses, fighting out of Revolution Fight Team in Langley, BC. Please welcome Gurdarshan St. Mangat.
It's kind of like the movie's already been made in our head. Now you're just gonna see what images, what dreams when I sat up at home at night, like every night thinking about. Now you're gonna see those images play out in real life. Those same dreams are just playing out in the same reality. There's bumps here and there, but it's going as the plan that I always dreamed of. So when I'm sitting up at night and I'm seeing that belt being put up around my waist, I've already imagined, I've already felt that feeling because I manifest on it so much. I believe in it so much. I feel the goosebumps. I feel it already. I feel the energy of the crowd. I feel the sweat. I feel everything. And now you're just going to see it play out exactly like that. My vision board every morning, I look at it. I see the crowd that I'm going to fight in front of, the belt I'm coming after, the people I'm going to represent. And that vision board has not changed in the last 3 years. I've just been covering the steps that are going through it. I've just made my way down it, made my way up it, made my way down it again. And it's just playing out exactly how I've imagined it, exactly how I'm playing it in my head, because I believe it that much to play out how I wanted to play out. I'll be ready for any one of these guys. Any one of these guys, I don't really think any of them are on my level. Like, I'm not being cocky about it. I really don't think any of them are at my level. They're all labeled as something or the other. And I'll have an answer for every single one of those questions. If I'm working my stand-up, I'm working my stand-up with Cajun, one of the best in Canada right now. If I'm working my ground, I'm working my ground with Hibiano, one of the best in the world. So you see, like, I'm covered in all corners, and I'm pushed, I push these guys. So it goes back and forth. It's not just me just taking it all in. So I'll be ready for any of these guys, and that's the kind of confidence we build in training. I train in the presence of fear, like most fighters do. And with as months of training go, that fear disappears. Fear gets replaced by confidence. And by fight time comes, that confidence has replaced all of the fear, and it's just go time. And that's the whole point of training camps, right? So I'll be ready for any one of these guys.
To prepare for his upcoming title opportunity, Gary cross-trained all disciplines, including his wrestling. At Raw Academy, under the tutelage of Olympic-caliber wrestler and coach Frank Menza, Gurdarshan gives us a sneak peek at what he lets his body endure.
Power, going to the bag. When you hit it, I want you to pull the bag in. Too high on your stance. You should drop your chest a little more. Nice. Very nice. Look at that. Get your hooks together. Time. Other guy down. Let's go. Okay? 30-second break. 30-second break. You want to stay down? You're off, Gary. You ready?
You need to get one more round in. I want to keep going. I gotta be careful too, right? Shoulder. 40 more days. 40 more days. Keep thinking about the belt.
And up. That's what it says. Rise and rise again until lions become lions. Yeah, man. Whether you fall down or not, get up. Go again. Okay, if I took a shot, I need this leg in order to come up. Okay, boom. I need this leg here to explode. So when you do, so shot, explode, right your head straight.
See, the way that I train for my fights right now is that I'm at a place where I want to be a complete mixed martial artist. So I don't even care who my opponent really is. I'm gonna train in every discipline I can to become the best at every discipline I can. So I'm training wrestling, I'm training Brazilian jiu-jitsu, I'm training Muay Thai. I'm training everything, my strength, my conditioning, everything. It doesn't matter who they put in front of me, I'm gonna be a complete fighter to fight that guy. Because I'm not just training for this fight, I'm training for my future. I'm training for, you know, some of the big names, some of the guys that Bibiano's already fought one day to be fighting those guys. So I'm not just trying to peak out for one fight in Battlefield. It's to like go even further than that. Get these titles, get title after title. So me, I can start training now not even knowing who it is because I just want to be a complete fighter on that day and not have to worry about anything. Take it to the ground, take it to the ground. Keep it standing. But wherever it goes, the comfort will be there. It's kind of like George St. Pierre, yeah, he trains, he has no off season. I don't have no off season. I don't believe in off season. I always gotta stay in shape. If you're ready, you don't have to get ready, like they always say, right? So if I'm ready right now and some opportunity pops up next week, like, hey, we got this big fight, you want to get on it overseas or something, I'm ready to go because I'm in shape, ready to go at all times. And that's the way I train, and that's the way I can handle guys like Bibiano in training now, because I've always trained all these other disciplines, so his jiu-jitsu is so much better, but yet I can counteract it with something else because I'm trying to get complete. And that's the way I think I'll train probably for the rest of my life, is always try to be a complete fighter, try to be the strongest, try to be the most conditioned, try to be the most skilled, so it doesn't really matter who's in front of me. Like, you always see the same promo videos, like, I don't care where the fight goes, I'll be ready there. No, yeah, exactly, we're mixed martial artists, you have to be ready there, right? That's the part of the game. You gotta be complete. So to me, it doesn't even matter because I'm not even just training for this fight. I'm training for years on of who I'm going to run into, what kind of pro guys I'm going to run into after this. So I'm with Battlefield right now. I'm training for a guy for Battlefield, not knowing who it is, but I'm training for much further than Battlefield at the same time, though. My goal is to be just like when most people think UFC, they think George St. Pierre, like, you know, they think of a poster boy. I want to be the poster boy for India MMA. When you think of Indian MMA, you think of my name first, right? I want to be the poster boy of that, and worldwide poster boy of that. And right now it's just a starting. Like, if this was a life movie, like I've said before, the credits of the start haven't even started rolling yet. The story hasn't even started yet, right? So that's, in 5-10 years, I hope to be the poster boy. So where I have to make appearances, where every fight of millions of people from UK, from Australia, from India, from here, the States, all following me, wanting me to represent them. Right now, I'm representing a lot of people in Vancouver right now, so the pressure, I'm already kind of dealing with those high pressure, like places right now. I'm already dealing with that kind of stuff. Being on the main event, even my next fight is main event for the title, and representing all the Sikhs around here that already know about me. And in Ontario, my name's spreading. In India, almost every MMA gym knows about me. In Australia, I got a fan base somehow, even though haven't even been to Australia yet. UK, I get ads all the time. People always tell me they've seen me on YouTube and whatnot. So it's started. It's definitely started. The fact that I'm part of a team called Revolution is kind of funny because I'm about to lead a revolution of India MMA. And I will be the poster boy. Like I told you, we set off, we dream about this, it's already played out in our head, and now you're just going to see it happen. And that's where I see myself 5-10 years from now, just representing my vision, representing a vision that I so strongly believed in 3 years ago, continue to stick with it. Simple vision, but so complex is the lifestyle that I live. Right? The simple vision of representing myself to the fullest, representing the underdog, representing the Sikhs all over the world, representing India as a whole, as a united harmony of people. right? And showing that the mindset of a fighter is at peace, they're at perfect harmony. Like Bibiano always stresses it. He's like, when you bring your spirit and your mindset together, you find perfect harmony. That's what makes a champion. When you find that, you fight with peace. And like, a lot of people will never understand what that means when they watch from outside the cage, is that when you're in there, you're fighting with perfect harmony, you're fighting at peace, you're fighting like a chess match, right? You're trying to beat the guy out, but your mind has to be so at peace, so clear at all time to win that fight. It's not a street fight. That's what these guys will never be able to figure out, is what kind of fighter is he? Watch my last fights, right? Watch them. They're not going to help you at all. They're not going to help you at all, because I'm a completely different fighter the next time around. I may be tricking you from the last fight into the next fight, thinking that's what you're going to expect. If I'm moving one way, I can maybe completely moving the other way. Who knows, right? All these things will keep changing, and you guys will see, if you watch all my fights, now them compared to the one before. As soon as I started being called a wrestler, all you saw in my last fight was stand-up. Every time I go to the ground, I purposely stood up, so you guys would not label me as a wrestler anymore. And then next fight, who knows?
Featherweight champion, Gurdarshan, St.
Before this, I was just going to school. I was a full-time student in the accounting program. So basically, I moved up here to go to school. And now basically, I'm a personal trainer. So I do this full-time. I train 3 times a day, hour and a half at a time. And then I'm personal training in between. So my life has completely changed because of mixed martial arts, and I've worked my days around training. So train somebody else, I train myself. Train somebody else, eat, sleep, train. That's all I really do now. Before it was more like homework. This is my homework now. Every time I'm out of the gym, I'm thinking about this. I'm trying to gain knowledge. I'm trying to get the upper hand. I'm trying to learn something. How I can get the edge on somebody else. I can create my own moves, some sort of transition that I can do in jiu-jitsu while I'm just sitting around at home. I'll be imagining something of, why didn't I do this? How can I get this? So at all times, my mind's working around it. And now I can't even remember how I lived my life before this. It's weird. It's like I've brainwashed myself almost, where I can't even remember if I could go back to 3 years, how I was functioning day to day, knowing that I was just trying to get through the days. Instead, now I'm trying to make the most of every day. So instead of just trying to let the day end, see what happens throughout the day, now I need to accomplish something. Or my day is, I'm just not satisfied with my day. I have to accomplish something, and that's something I always do every single day for the past 3 years, and that's why the results of my fights are the way they are. I was always kind of the follower. I always kind of blended into the background scene. I never wanted to voice my opinion, even though I had some great ideas. I always thought about what other people would think before I would throw my ideas out, and for that reason alone, I would always kind of keep them hidden in my mind. And when I moved up here, I was kind of still doing that same thing where I was kind of being the follower. I was kind of looking for the people to follow. And one day it just kind of clicked in my head that maybe it's time to create a new image now that I'm in a new town and I can start over and create something something that can go down in history. And not knowing that I was ever going to be part of mixed martial arts, I just kind of had dreams of something. Then I was just sitting around one day with some friends at a bar, and UFC was on. Rich Franklin was fighting Anderson Silva that night. This was the first one. And they were explaining Rich Franklin's background. They had said that he was a high school teacher. And right from there, something kind of clicked in my head, where I always kind of had this thing where all the fighters that I was seeing on the UFC were just kind of raised from birth as fighters. So in me not being raised from birth as a fighter, ever having to fight and anything like that, I never thought of ever becoming something like it. Like my dad and me, we used to watch Vitor Belfort since I was like 5 years old, and I used to just see him just this jacked up young kid, and every parent wanted their kid to look like that. And like, you know, not knowing that I could ever be like that, I used to just look up to him. And then when I moved up here, I just discovered went into the Revolution fight team because Caleb Starnes was fighting on the undercard of that card, and I found out that we have a gym right here in Vancouver. Went there, got my butt kicked, like in and out, was bleeding, had an asthma attack because I had asthma, was just getting beat down. But then I kind of went home, reanalyzed everything, and realized that my whole life before this, whenever anything would get hard, I would just kind of give up and look for another easier way. And if there's anything that we know, that people that are known for something, the Bill Gates, the Vitor Belforts, like any kind of top, the Donald Trumps, was they had to go through struggle to be known as what they are today. And not knowing what kind of painful journey mentally and physically I was about to embark on, I wanted to stick with it. I wanted to right away start training as a pro, like at a pro level, not trying to just get through the day by day. So I started hanging around some of the pro fighters, started seeing how their mindsets are, seeing how they think, and just realizing how much fighting is all mental than skill. So something that I've always had is heart. I never wanted to give up on anything, and now I really had a goal in front of me, not knowing even now that I would have been doing this 3 years ago at the level that I'm doing it at. And I've been just taking it day by day. Every day is a 24-hour journey to me. Every day is a struggle. And my only goal every day is to at least get 1% better every day. So I'm a better version of myself from the day before. And that's kind of how I've lived my life for the past 3 years. That's why my mind has changed, the way I think, the way I am, the way I've always been now is because of the way I have to think day to day every morning when I open my eyes. I know I have to get that much better. I know I don't know what's coming. Today could be the last day of this because I may get some injury and it may be over. But the thing is, I know I have not lived in regret of anything in the past 3 years. For something that when I'm 80 years old, I can look back and say, you know something, I lived every day from that point on to the fullest. And that's something that mixed martial arts has given me. Every day I'm sitting in the cage with Bibiano, passing information back and forth. I learn more about life than I do about fighting in the gym when I'm training. More about life lessons, how to raise a family, what kind of mindset I need to have a family one day, how to take care of people, how to inspire others. And that all came from mixed martial arts. That wasn't me punching somebody in the face thinking I go into a gym and that's all I'm doing. No, I learn more life lessons than anything every day I go to training. My mind gets stronger every single day. It's unbreakable. And that's kind of everything that mixed martial arts has taught me out of that. My parents, when I first called them, my parents still live up north in Williams Lake. They're still up there. So you got to remember, in Williams Lake, everybody saw me as a small kid that, like, you know, I never got into fights. I was more picked on, but I would let people pick on me because I never wanted to fight back. Because I never wanted to kind of escalate back and forth. It's like, go ahead, pick on me, just leave me alone after kind of deal, right? I was never one of those kids to lash back, to fight back. And so when you've been raised in a town when everybody knows each other and you kind of have an image around you, and then calling your parents and saying, hey mom, dad, I kind of found something. You remember, dad, that UFC we used to watch all the time and that fighting we used to watch? Kind of want to try it. Now at first, my brother, my sister, my parents, all, like, you know, they're supportive, but you can tell in their voice just how much support there was at that time, which there wasn't very much. But something I've learned since the way that my parents have raised me is your actions are what earn your respect. I can call them and say I want to be the best fighter, but the only way I can become the best fighter is through action, by showing them what it is. So I fought for the first time about 3 weeks after that at a Tiger Bomb tournament, which was just a small tournament in Vancouver. But it was the first time I was ever about to get in a fight. So my first time ever getting into a fight was on a mat in front of there was about 800 people there. just everybody watching, and you have no idea who you're going to fight on that day. It's kind of a draw. It's a tournament. You got to win 3 times to win the entire tournament. You keep going until you lose. So I won my first 3 fights in there. I got in the top 3 of that tournament. But when my parents were there, my mom most of the time just covered her eyes. My tooth went through my lip in my very first fight. But the thing is, when I stepped on that mat, even I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what would happen to me. I didn't know how I was going to react to it. It was kind of a risk. It was a gamble. So I didn't try to think about it too much. As soon as I stepped on the mat, something kind of took over me. It was like almost survival. I kind of just knew I had to survive. Not survive, but kind of take the other guy out. And that's something that ever since I discovered mixed martial arts, it's like, that's what I love about it. It's the survival of the fittest, right? So me having to prove that through actions is how I earned the respect from my parents. And now my dad loves it. My dad and me have like, I'd say that my dad was more the sports guy in the family and I was more the geeky kid in the family. So we never really kind of bonded on that level. Now I would say me and my dad, we're like best friends. We talk about MMA all the time. He's always telling me how to work out and stuff like that over the phone, like, you know, the brown way to work out, right? Which isn't too effective in MMA. But like, you know, I like we joke around all the time. We wrestle in the living room and stuff like that. Stuff that MMA has brought me closer to my family, if anything. And that's kind of weird to think that you punching somebody else in the face would bring your family closer together. My little brother's my biggest supporter. My whole family. It's just the way I've done it, the way I've been raised in the sport. I don't go around saying, hey, I'm a mixed martial artist, I'm a fighter, fight me, fight me. It's more to inspire. It's more to be humble. This sport is giving me a complete humbleness. And my parents have seen how I've grown as a man, the way that my mind works, the way I handle situations at home. Instead of fighting with like my brother and sister, how I calm the situation down. That's all from mixed martial arts. Right? It's like it's how my mind has started working, how I want to become a mature man from this. And that way my parents completely support it and how much dedication I've put into it. 5 hours a day of training, every time I'm on the road or I'm in the gym, they see how badly I want this. They see it's not a hobby, it's a lifestyle to me now. And they've seen the way my body's changed, the way my mind's changed, the way I've been interpreted by people. Even the notoriety they're getting in Williams Lake now. People are coming up and your son's really good, that's really good, what he's doing for our town, he's putting our town on the map. So, you know, they're taking it in now too. So my dad loves it, my parents love it, everyone's fully supportive of it now. But that had to be earned over years of hard work and proving results, right? It wasn't just given to me right away. Respect, same thing, with actions, not just words. My words just back up my actions as I'm talking to you right now. You can go back to my fights and you can see the way I think through my actions, and that way I can back up exactly what I'm saying right now. Before I started fighting, I used to go to this Sikh youth camp. I still go there, but now I'm a teacher there instead of just a camper who just goes there, takes in everything, and just kind of... When I went there, I met these weapons martial artists. There's a Sikh weapons martial art called Gatka, which is the people that I met were basically the best at it in the world. And they had performed in front of the Queen and stuff like that. And they were very spiritual. Like, if it's for me to explain how spiritual these people are and how strong their mind is would be an understatement, because I can't still find words around it. It's when you're around them, you feel this energy. You feel this completely inspirational energy where every word they say, you take it in. You don't just let it go in one ear out the other. You take it in, you think about it, you see where it's coming from. Because what they've seen is the oppression of the Sikh people. They've been there. They've been there when many of the attacks were going on the Sikh people in India. They were there for all of that. And to know what kind of history they've seen happen for our people, you just understand what they've come from. Now, when I was around them, they saw something in me. I wasn't doing MMA yet. I was just going to school mostly that time. And they could see something that I was like, when I was competing in one of their competitions, that kind of a lion kind of came out of me. I was like this nice guy outside. I was really nice, but when the competition started, I just completely changed. And they're like, you know something? This guy's like a saint lion. Like, he's a saint outside, but he's a lion inside. So they call me Saint Soldier at first. Where Saint Soldier is the biggest, it's the most honor of a name you can get in Sikhism. Saint Soldiers are the ones who are God's warriors. And I didn't believe I earned that in any way yet. I didn't want to accept that name because I didn't feel like I earned it. I didn't just want to be given it. So I'm like, I can't take that. I can't have that name. So they came up with Saint Lion. Saint Lion just stuck after that. Every time I'd hear that name before a fight, it would just take over my mindset. I wanted to live up to that name. I wanted to live up to the name so one day I can be referred to as Saint Soldier. And that's why that name stuck around, and it just kept catching on, and that's why I've stuck around with it. I'm not a cocky guy in any way. Like mixed martial arts has made me very humble, and just Saint Lion is a great enough name to be given by them, because every day I'm thinking about those guys, and they're the ones who have inspired me since day one. And the reason I've even got the energy and the strength I get from this journey is from the knowledge that they gave me to basically lay my foundation of how my mindset should be. Looking back to my ancestors, looking back to the oppression that we went through, to see what kind of oppression, like we were supposed to give up our faith, so they would boil us in pots until we said, no, we're not Sikhs anymore, but they never did. They saw their children tortured, torn apart in front of them, killed in front of them, made into bracelets and necklaces, and they had to wear them, and they still didn't give up their religion. So that kind of energy, when I go into a cage, to me, fighting isn't, I don't even think it's at a level of what they went through at the Golden Temple and stuff like that, and all of them standing up for our religion. That's where I get all my strength from, and that's where I take that into there. So every time you see me bow down, you see me kneel before I enter the cage, that's what I'm thinking of. I'm asking God for energy. I'm asking God for strength. I'm not asking God to protect me from the struggle, yet give me energy and power to fight the struggle. Right? More than anything, I don't want to be protected from it. I want to go through it, because going through struggle makes you stronger. Not you being protected away from it. Before I ever found mixed martial arts, I was hiding from the struggle. That's why I was weak in the mind. And now that every day I'm struggling with something, I'm fighting or I'm training or some injury or something, it makes me stronger mentally. So when I get to a destination, I can look back and be like, listen, I went through all this, I can handle this. And that's where all that comes from. If the best things come to me, then the best things come to me. If they don't, they don't. But I live my days fully. I live happier now with the simple things than I ever would if I had crazy gadgets and stuff like that, right? I'm living the perfect life that I see for myself. I live every day with no regret, simple food, simple training, simple necessities, simple everything. It's because mixed martial arts makes you simplify your mind, humble your mind, rather give than take from other people. And that's the kind of message I want to keep spreading for the next 5, 10 years, or actually the rest of my life, is what mixed martial arts has given me from that. And that's one thing with my mindset, is that I sit around so much where I'm meditating around. When I'm not around Bibiano, when I'm at home in between training sessions, if I have classical music on, I'll be thinking about things like that. I want to get to a point where like, you know, I'm a very loving guy. I give love, but my mind, I do not let anyone get into. My mind is kind of like, I kind of hide the key away from everybody. But when I need to invest, like when I need to deposit information, I need to deposit knowledge, I need to deposit lessons, struggle, I open it, I put it in, lock it, throw the key away. So therefore you can get to my heart, but you can't get to my mind whatsoever. It's just getting stronger. I'm taking in any information I can. Every day I walk into the gym like it's my first day, just teach me something. Just teach me something. I go in there like as if I've never known anything. And that's a good way to interpret mixed martial arts, is not go in there with an ego thinking you know everything. Go in there and take as much knowledge. I learned just as much from the black belts as I learned from the white belts. Like some of the white belts have taught me some crazy stuff. And that's why you gotta be open, you gotta be very humble, you gotta take in everything you can, you gain as much knowledge at all times. And the higher you get, the more that disappears on some people. And Bibiano has told me the greatest mistake you can make is that, you know, like George St. Pierre's and stuff like that, they act like they don't know anything. And they keep learning, they keep learning, they keep learning. That's why they are where they are. And I hope to get up to that with that same kind of mindset.